Yeah, loved it. Loved it. I thought we worked really hard. It was a good game. It was a really good hockey game from our guys. I think puck possession, you know, the scoring chances we created, ozone time was fantastic, and I thought we did a nice job, especially well for the bulk of the game of getting in and out of our zone. We kind of gave up the home run mistake a couple times early. Um, but I just felt like the way we were playing that we'd have a chance to sort of stick in that game, and that even though we had to work for all of our chances a lot harder than the ones we gave them, I think early in the game, the guys did a nice job like sticking with it and just chipping away and finding a way to win the hockey game.
Coach, Nate called out the second line of Brock Nelson, Valentin and Jonathan Drew in particular. What do you think about them tonight?
Well, what a start! I mean, right from the drop of the puck, right? They Brock hits the post right away. Then they end up scoring a couple goals. Dangerous, you know. And I think that line, like as they get to know each other and grow and find some chemistry, like that's just good instinctual hockey. But that line was really good. Obviously, Val has a huge night, but Brock has a lot to do with that. Um, as did Drew. I thought that was Drew's best game in a while. So that I really liked the way that line looked, which is great because you know, we know you need four lines. And we didn't have any passengers tonight. Our guys played hard. Sam Malinsky had one of his best games in a long time. Um, you know, I would say, like, that was a really strong performance. We did have those handful of mistakes. We'll correct them. And you can't even, like, fault Blackie on any of those goals against. Normally he'd come up with a big save or two there. He didn't tonight, but he was resilient and stuck with it. And you know, made some big saves in the third period to like keep us in striking distance, and then eventually we ended up getting rewarded.
Coach, St. Louis game, you said we're not high flying offense anymore. 28 goals, 5 games since then. Obviously, Val has come back. What else has kind of changed in this offense?
Like nothing tactically, okay. Well, I shouldn't say that. You know, like our structure, that what we talk about at the start of the year is still the same. There's nuances to it depending on the opponent, but I just feel like we've really been stressing a shot mentality. Like if we break a team down, even if it's just one pass, one play, that like if we have shooting lanes to take our shots, okay, and that kind of starts with a lot of low to high plays to our D. Well, tonight our D had 12 shot attempts in the first period, 10 in the second. I think that was a total of 15 on net out of 22 or 14 on net out of 22, and we were getting to the net. Like Val's goal is a prime example. Manson shot it, came around, and Lindgren shot it, and we're going to the net for the tip. We created quite a bit of chaos at the net tonight. We couldn't come up with all those pucks, but it's something that's repeatable. And it should look like that throughout our lineup. Even the top line has to do that a little bit, even though they're a little bit more of a possession group. Just fighting to the interior of the ice and staying in an attack mentality. But in order to be that dangerous, you still got to get out of your zone well. You got to get through the neutral zone well. You got to create a good forecheck if you don't have something on the rush. So I think you know, over the course of some of these wins, we've done a better job in all those areas, which has helped us.
Coach, Nate McKinnon is a point away from 1,000 for his career. I guess.
Yeah.
Are there any more superlatives, or is it just hard to describe what he's meant to this team?
Well, yeah, he continues to impress me. He does, because like when I first came here, you know, like he was battling to try to hit 100 points, you know, and he's grown a lot as a player, as a leader. The consistency, the way he's dangerous, like every time he touches the ice. And then, you know, like the last couple of years here, he is at 100 points again now, and we still got a lot of games to play, you know. So that continues to impress me because it's hard. It's hard. I mean, we have some really good players on this team, and we've seen how hard it is to just get points and to score, and it's a tough league, and he still finds a way every night to get on the board and make an impact on the offensive side, all while being a good defender and growing his defensive game too.
Do you think the identity of the team has changed since the trade deadline?
Yeah, it's going to change. Yeah, 100%. It's going to change. It should change because we're built different. Like, we are big and strong and long in the middle of the ice now. You got Nate and fast. Like, so we're still a fast team, but we added some size, and that's hard to play against. Like, you got Brock Nelson out there who's long and can skate and make plays, but he's still a big body guy. Coyle's a big body guy. Lindgren helps on the back end. Mance comes back in. Val comes back in. Like, if you look at, like, I looked at it this morning, just what our lineup looks like right now compared to what, and nothing against these guys. They all played hard and played well for us, but look, take any game with the injuries that we had and just look at the depth of our lineup now compared to then. It's a different ball game, and we should treat it differently. We should expect more. We should have higher expectations. The standard we should be pushing the standard from here to the end of the year to get our game as good as it could possibly be.
Intimidating?
What's that?
More intimidating?
Well, we're gonna be hard to play against. That's a good example. That's a really good hockey team over there that's playing well, and we're gonna be a handful going through our whole lineup.
You have a couple of healthy scratches up front in VC and Wood that could be everyday NHLers.
Yep.
To have someone like Parker Kelly, I guess, was that the type of game that keeps him in the lineup where he's just throwing his body around on every shift?
So center is a different responsibility. He's played center. It's a little. I think it reminds me a little of Colton. Okay, so Colton is a wrecking ball again tonight, and part of those two guys' game, and part of their strengths coming here before they move to the center position is they're really good forecheckers, physical, can get into people, slashing onto pucks in the neutrals, and they're putting heat on the defense all the time. And part of that game has to go away when you're down low all the way at the goal line in the D zone, because you're a whole zone behind your wingers, right? So you don't get to be F1 or F2 as much on the forecheck when you're playing center. And I think it's part of their strength. So we talked to Parker about it. Cogs talked to him. I talked to him about what we want to see, and I thought he played his game to a T tonight. He was physical. He was on pucks. He was hard to handle in all those areas, right? So we're going to see we're going to see a different sort of style from Parker Kelly on the wing than we did at center.
Is it nice to have the bottom six guys now have players kind of breathing down their necks, waiting for ice time to kind of keep them playing that way? Or?
So it's twofold, because we're going to have players sitting out that probably have never sat out for us. Like, we've never scratched or had Woody miss a game that wasn't due to injury, right? And so it can be, it's not a comfortable situation, right? And I don't like telling those guys are out, because he's not out because of his performance. He's been playing great, okay? But we have depth for the first time all year. We're going to use it, and we're going to figure out sort of our best combinations as best we can down the stretch here. And so I want to keep everyone involved, including all the D and the forwards, but it's not comfortable for them because they want to play, but I'm trying to get them to think big picture, where we're trying to go, what we're trying to do. If someone's banged up, they'll come out. We don't have to play guys through injuries, and I hope all of them elevate their game to try and stay in. That's the whole idea. That's what you're missing throughout the course of the year when you're banged up like we were. Everyone's playing. If they don't play great, then they're still playing again. So I like. And we're in the business of winning. There should be pressure to perform well outside of just your contract or fan base, media. You should want to have to push yourself to be your best on a nightly basis to help your team and to stay in the lineup. I think it can be a positive thing.
Coach, you weren't expecting a perfect game tonight, but with the two guys coming in, Brock got to skate yesterday, but altitude, all of those, how did they hit the expectations that you had for them for their first game?
Yeah. Yes.
Or more?
Yeah, they were really good. They helped immediately. Brock had a heck of a game, he was all over the puck and helping Val get those points. And he was a really good player tonight, I think. And as he said, settles in, especially on the defensive side of things, when he doesn't have to think, like when he gets used to our structure. I think offense, it's a little bit more universal, when it comes to team. But expectations or responsibilities defensively, sometimes you got to think a little bit more when it's a new system. So he's going to get better there, which is going to help him be better at the other end of the rink. And Charlie was good too, and he makes a big play to Drouin to get that goal. Like he can play on both sides of the puck too. So I liked what those guys did tonight for sure.
Why did you like Simbolinski's neck so much?
I liked his skating, and he took care of the puck. Like he wheeled the net, he's skating the puck, he was using his first pass, limited the turnovers in the D's. On our half of the rink, he limited the turnovers, and yet there was still like a little aggression to his game on the defending side, which I want to keep trying to drive out of him, because I think he can get more like physical and quicker to close guys out in the D zone. And I thought he had a great night. It was a nice game.
Goal is obviously always to win, but just how significant has it been to capitalize on this homestand?
Yeah, I think it's important. I mean, because the teams that are chasing us aren't losing either, So we have to continue to take care of our own business, and hopefully they run out of runway.
Coach, we've talked about the importance of Valentin many times before, but 3 goals tonight. Just what can you say about his performance here tonight, and just what he does for the lineup in general?
Well, I mean, he does a little bit of everything, right? And he's relied on in all situations. Like he's first power play now again. He's penalty killing. I mean, we've talked about it in depth, but I thought his game was outstanding. He was in. What Val's able to do with his size and strength is like you see it. He gets a little opening in the offensive zone, and he's taking it to the house. It's hard to get in there and come up with pucks, and then when you get it, he's able to protect it and bring it to the interior of the ice. So like and so is Brock. They with their size and skating and their hands and ability, like they're getting to the areas of the ice where goals are going to be scored more often than a lot of guys.
When Val's going like that, I mean, is he, in your eyes, a top 10, top 15 player in the league?
Yeah, like I don't know about the number, but I think he's elite. One of the best in the league 200-foot players. That's like, there's guys that come to mind, and some of them play different positions. Like I think Barkov, Eichel, and like you're trying to find big wingers like that. Like he's one of those guys. Like to me, he's one of the top 200-foot players in the game.